I come outside to talk to you in the middle of winter at 4:30 in the afternoon when the sun's going down because I'm mad. I've got a bit overheated indoors, which is quite normal for me. I have problems with my thermostat, I suppose. I've had it for a long time. I mean, I guess it started with menopause, but menopause is behind me quite some distance now. But then steroids came and caused issues, and now I'm not so bad as I was when I first started taking steroids because I'm on a much lower dose than I was, but I still have periods of I'm either really cold, during the early part of the day I'm really cold, and then as the day moves on I get warmer, and by then Mark's responded to my moaning, so he's lit the fire and the house is getting warm, and I'm just getting warm indoors, and I need to get out and get some cool air. And when I go back in, if I take my socks off, my feet are a great what's the word? Well, they're great for reducing my temperature because I can put them on the cold floor, the tiled floor, but just having socks on makes me too hot sometimes. So I'll take them off when I go in. But I've come out here with my cup of tea that I've just made. Let's see if it's ready. Oh yeah. Oh, I've just spilt that down my trousers. Don't tell anybody. Mark earlier has gone around with these the cedar, little blocks of cedar wood, which I've actually added clove oil to, and he's gone around the outside of the perimeter of the lounge and pushed some of those in to the ceiling. I was quite surprised when he went round and he was pushing it up, because I thought that there was going to be much more of it's going to be much easier, that there would be much more of a space, but actually it's really quite packed in with, from what I can see, it looks to be in reasonably good condition insulation. I'm not sure about that. I'm quite surprised, because I would have thought over the years, we've been here 15 years, I don't know how long we've had Leros living in there with us, but I would have thought that quite a bit of that would have been destroyed, but he didn't come across anything that looked as though it had been destroyed. So anyway, we've done that, and hopefully that will deter them, if nothing else. We are back on, I keep saying that, don't I? I keep telling you, we're back on the Fast 800 diet, and you all think, oh yeah, right, okay. But we're back on the Fast 800 diet. And I was scrolling through the site yesterday evening, because I look at the recipes and the meal plans, and that helps me choose what I need for my shopping. And I've not been there for a while. I don't look on there, especially over Christmas, because we were just eating whatever I was providing over Christmas. I was looking on there, and I suddenly came across the new regime called TMAD, and I couldn't work out what it was. And I thought, well, what's that? TMAD. And I switched my profile to that just so then I could see what the meal plans were. And it works out, it's the time-limited eating, the interval diet. So that really works for us because we don't eat breakfast. So I'm really pleased to have found that. A lot of the recipes are different to those that we've had for 12 weeks last year and some of the weeks this year. So it's really nice to see that there are recipes on there that I can make without having to fiddle around and make the breakfast recipe for the afternoon, for this time of the afternoon, which was what I was doing when we did the Fast 800 initially. To lunchtime I did, it was scrambled eggs, spinach and parmesan with some chili flakes. I can't tell you I enjoyed it. It wasn't very much on the plate, and but Tom P, that's what we had. We've since had, I made lollies the other day with I had a couple of compotes non-sugar compots, pear, mango, and apple. A couple of those left over from when I bought them for something at Christmas. So I mixed those in with a load of thick cream that I had, and made them into popsicles. I think they might call them in the US, ice lollies. We had one of those afterwards each, and we've had an apple, and then I'm doing Cajun chicken with a more parmesan polenta with cauliflower rice in it. So I never liked polenta. I really, I've tried various ways of cooking it, and I'm hoping that this way, excuse me, this way will work, because I'm looking forward to it, because we're going to be hungry. I don't know what's for dinner tomorrow. We went over to pick up our shopping this morning, and it was really cold this morning. It was really cold. It was well, really cold for us, probably not for people that live in very cold areas, but it was, I think the temperature must have dropped to -1 in the early hours. And when I went down to the chickens, some of the water on the way down was frozen, and I think when we went out, it was 1.5 or something. And so yeah, Mark goes and picks up the shopping, and I go in and buy some of the veg because it's not on the website, and I prefer not to be in the shop for long, especially now. So going in and just buying the extra bits, and being in the shop, say for, I was in there at least half an hour, but if I were to do my whole shopping, I'd be in there an hour probably. And so it's much nicer to just go in straight to the vegetables and just do that. So that's what we did, and we made a decision. We had been thinking about this over the last few weeks whilst we've been away from on holiday for Christmas, and we have decided that we're going to take a pause and not go back to art for a few weeks, because the case numbers here have gone above the UK now, and I think our Omicron numbers are still are not as high as the UK, but our actual overall case numbers have gone above the UK for the first time, I think, and I'm sure that's Omicron. Omicron is pushing that up. And at art, in his Mark's lesson and in mine, we'd become sort of a bit complacent, really, and we were doing sort of bissooing and being not wearing masks, and had gone back almost to normal. I mean, I hadn't. I was aware and careful, but we'd gone back to normal, and it's so easy to do that. And I think people have been, doing whatever they've been doing for Christmas and for New Year. And I know that too, like Cleo's been sick, and I know Lawrence has been sick, and I don't know, they didn't test for positive for COVID, but I just think I'd rather, at this time of the year, I think we need to stay away. So that's what we've decided, because I would have been at art this afternoon, but I have not been. So not going, and I'm sad because I love going and I miss everybody, and but it's I think it's really important that we continue to be vigilant. So that's what we're doing. That's about it, really. The sun's going down. I haven't felt well today all day. Was aching this morning when I woke up. I'm aching now, and I felt hungover this morning. I feel less hungover now, but it feels like this. It feels a bit like a detox headache. When you've given something up that you eat lots of or drink. If you're a drinker, I'm not a drinker, but that's sort of as if somebody's holding something tight around your head. So it feels a bit like that. It's not very pleasant, but I'm sure it will go away. And that's it, really. So there we go. Bonsoir, because that's when you'll see this. And thanks for listening. Thanks for coming. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for your comments, as usual. Really appreciate them. And let's see what tomorrow brings. Keep safe.